This is an Industry Today webcast produced by Industrial Info Resources of Sugar Land, Texas.
For football fans in Indianapolis, the word luck has been kicked around quite a bit these days as the Colts prepare for the NFL Draft, a draft that features a premier quarterback in Stanford's Andrew Luck. Will the Colts take him with the first pick? Will they trade him? Well, all that remains to be seen at this point. Those are questions for people who decide what happens on the field. But when it came to the construction of the home in which the Colts play, Lucas Oil Stadium, getting it built on time and on budget didn't involve any luck at all. It involved a time-tested construction tool that is used by public and private interests alike, a project labor agreement. Since its doors opened in 2008, the taxpayer-funded stadium is proving to be the economic engine that locals hoped it would be. Besides the Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium has hosted concerts, an NCAA Final Four, and dozens of other events of all sizes and descriptions that help bring people and money into the city. Now, it's about to host the NFL's biggest game of the year. Let's go out to Indianapolis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following message is from the Indiana Union construction industry, the presenter of tonight's flag and the contractors and tradesmen who built this house.
It's not often the men and women of the building trades get to take a bow in front of 63,000 people for the work they do. But opening night was no ordinary night at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the field as the United States Army present the colors. And please welcome representatives from the Indiana Union construction industry as they present the United States flag.
I'm the home of the brave.
Lucas Oil Stadium is the first thing visitors see as they drive into the city on Interstate 70. It's a culmination of what can happen when a city with a vision raises the money to build such a centerpiece and hires a workforce with a skill set unmatched anywhere in the world to get the job done. Now, as preparations are underway for the game that will crown the NFL champion, our Bob Miskey sat down with a few of the principals, including Barty Levengood. Mr. Levengood, the executive director of the organization that owns Lucas Oil Stadium, talked about why its construction was built under a PLA.
You develop a trust, and the quality of the work has always improved to the point that we have incredible, good working relationship with the building trades.
Barney, when you build a stadium that runs in the hundreds of millions of dollars, you have your choice when it comes to construction. What is the appeal about Union Crafts?
They're trained, they go through an apprenticeship program, they have skills, and to the extent that they are very incredibly safety oriented, that's become more and more of an issue for owners, is the ability to have accident-free workplaces, because it can actually slow down, in some cases shut down a job site.
As you know, construction industry is probably one of the most dangerous industries to be in. And years ago, the building trades took it upon themselves to include all the OSHA safety trainings, requirements, certifications. When you go through the union apprenticeship program, you have the safety training. It's almost indoctrinated into you at a very early age.
Safety and skill. Skill and safety. Two elements that went hand in hand on this complex $700 million job that was funded by the Colts and the taxpayer. But all the training, skills, and safety programs don't quite feel as satisfying if some other time-sensitive issues aren't met, like opening on time.
You can't not play an NFL football game, so that would be the worst, and other events that are booked here. The Colts don't own this facility. Indianapolis, Indiana owns this facility. We lease it like everyone else, and hopefully we use it 12 times a year with the playoffs. And those dates are very important to us, and they're very important to other sponsors and businesses and organizations who come in and use this facility.
What a project labor agreement delivered to the construction of Lucas Oil Stadium was the coordination of 1,500 construction professionals from multiple crafts, all working under the same rules. Together, they built this impressive facility with a retractable roof, operational windows with a view of the skyline, state-of-the-art electrical, heating, cooling and plumbing, ventilation systems, and seating capacities that can vary 70,000 to several thousand, depending on the event. It was a big, complex job, and the building trades was up to the task.
In any process to this magnitude between architects, construction managers, contractors, and labor, there's always opportunities for challenges, and I believe that the individuals both at the foreman level and at the agents and more importantly even at the managers levels, everybody had their head in the right place, and we obviously got the building built on budget and on time.
Owners especially like to minimize risk on any multi-million-dollar project. And historically, that's what we help them do, is minimize that construction risk of getting these things done on time, on budget. And so it was a fairly easy sell because of the history involved with PLAs in central Indiana.
Perhaps there's no better expert on the history of PLAs in this area than Tom O'Donnell. During his 15 years as president of the Central Indiana Building Trades Council, he's been involved in 25 PLAs and $10 billion worth of construction.
We've had private, we've had government-owned facilities. I mean, it just all across the board. We've done them under Democratic administrations and Republican administrations, and it's been amazing how it's worked. I think the biggest part of that is too that journeyman to apprentice ratio. An apprentice truly gets on-the-job training in the building trades because most of the collective bargaining agreements have a ratio of journeymen to apprentices.
O'Donnell compared the productivity of a union crew mix to that of what can often be found on a non-union job.
One leader to 10 people under them, how is that individual really going to learn anything from a true craftsman? Because the guy is so busy trying to lead them around by the hand and have them doing everything they can do.
Everything is so tight and everything else these days with the way the economy is. You just bust your butt to do what you can for this job, you know, to move on to the next job.
I love to go to work. I mean, I work outside right now. It's cold, but I love my job. I love building. I love seeing what I've done when I'm done. And how many people can say they see something like that every day?
If we don't please the customer, we don't get the work. The better we do on each job, the more likely we are to get the next job.
You know, one thing we hear now and then is that PLAs are exclusionary. Was this job exclusionary?
I don't believe so. I think that in all the PLAs, both from the management and from the building trades standpoint, they want it to be inclusionary, that we have opportunities for emerging businesses. There are many multiple ways for groups to participate in the program, and I believe that has proved out to be the case.
If you're non-qualified, unqualified, unskilled, a PLA may exclude you, but you're probably going to be excluded from other high-tech, high-priority jobs also. But as far as legal exclusions, I've heard it before, it's nonsense, complete nonsense. Union and non-union contractors worked on this project.
So as technical crews check and double-check their systems, and cleaning crews scrub every surface in preparation for one of the biggest sporting events in the world, Lucas Oil Stadium is about to make yet another payment on what can be accomplished when citizens put their dollars and their faith in what a PLA can deliver.
We take a lot of pride in our work. You know, there's a saying now about value on display every day. We take that very seriously. We look around here, we bring our families to this stadium at game day, and you can point, you know, I'm the one that installed that glass up there, or those lights over there. I'm the one that hung those lights.
I point it out and say, hey, look, I built that. And all my friends know. And if you ask them, I built it all by myself.
It's an amazing structure, I think. And you get to show your family, you know, hey, Dad, I built that, or hey, honey, I built that, you know, and your little kids, you know, I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that, you know, maybe one of these days they're going to have their Colts jerseys on, sitting in that stadium, and I say, Dad was a part of this. So, you know, it's very gratifying.
Union pride is something that you hang your hat on. It's something that you can tell other people and show other people what you do. It's a mindset. It's something, it's automatic.
To say the least. We are incredibly happy with the building. We have the ultimate challenge and reward of a building like this. We're hosting the Super Bowl this year, and it will be sort of a culmination of a lot of work by many, many people in our community, leaders, the financial institutions, all the nonprofits, political leaders to have the will to step up and build a structure like this. It truly is going to put us in a position to market and to promote ourselves as a first-tier city.
The word that is used most to describe Lucas Oil Stadium is beautiful. It's a beautiful stadium.
Our thanks to the Indianapolis Colts, the NFL, Barney Levengood, and the men and women of the Central Indiana Building Trades, and to you for taking a few moments to hear our story. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, follow President Ayers on Twitter. I'll see you soon.